Lofton 6 for 12 with a pair of triples in this series. Tripled and scored the first run for Cleveland last night. RBI single to knock in the second. Flowers in on the grass at third. And a fastball right down the middle for strike one. Bennis had 2 starts against the Yankees in the division series and wound up being a footnote to 2 of the best games in recent playoff history. Inside 1-1. He worked 5 innings and got a no decision in the 15-inning Game 2 Classic, which the Mariners lost 7-5. Albert Bell just came out of the clubhouse and just sat down in the Indian dugout. There's a line drive which will fall for a hit, and Lofton is aboard. This 1995 League Championship Series game is brought to you by Buick and your local dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. And Network MCI, how to get modern communications technology working for your business. Lofton stole a base last night. It was his first steal of the postseason. He led the league with 54, the 4th straight season. He's topped the American League in stolen bases. He's been nursing a sore left hamstring, but he appeared to run well on both his triple and his steal last night. Vizquel's 0 for 11 in this series, but had a sacrifice fly last night. Vizquel is a good bunter, among the league leaders in sacrifices.
And a nice number 2 man behind Lofton. In that number 2 spot with a guy like Lofton aboard, you're going to get some decent pitches to hit. Catcher always wants something decent to throw on, and Bennis trying to keep him close. Flowers playing up tight at third for Vizquel. As you see, Omar Vizquel looking for his first hit in this championship series.
Lofton's not going. The pitch high and away. Started to say about Bennis, 2 no decisions in the Yankee series. 5 innings of work in the 15-inning Game 2 Yankee win at Yankee Stadium. Then he started the 5th and deciding game against David Cone, worked 6 2/3, left trailing 4-2. Mariners, of course, wound up tying it, forcing extra innings, and winning it in 11. Coming out of a regular season where they had to go to a 1-game playoff against the Angels, just about everybody was working on 3 days rest for Seattle in the first playoff series against the Yanks. Now Lou Piniella has been able to get his starters some very long rest. Bennis going on 6 days rest today. Bosio tomorrow on 8 days rest. Lofton not going, and ball 2 to Vizquel.
Well, that's what a guy like Lofton does to you. As we said early in the telecast about Andy Bennis, he has problems early with control and has been known to give up a long ball. And I'll tell you, he's given up some long home runs this year, Bob. He still throws hard, as I said, good breaking stuff. But when you've got a guy like Lofton aboard, he bothers you. I don't care who you are. A guy like Lofton, who's got that great speed, bothers you. He's not even getting to a maximum lead yet. When he goes back standing, that's not much of a lead for Kenny Lofton.
Well, he certainly changed the pitch selection. The first 2 pitches to Vizquel were as close to a pitch out as you can get without actually pitching out.
Well, again, Wilson with fastballs, you want something decent to throw on if you're going to have a shot at him.
Bluffs the bunt and takes ball 3. Baerga on deck.
It does change as a pitcher, and it does change your catching repertoire once in a while. When you have a guy like Lofton aboard, you certainly want to keep your pitcher in the game and have a shot to nail a runner. But Bennis here with fastballs hasn't been close on Vizquel.
Bottom of the first on a chilly night in Cleveland. Cold front coming through. It'll be colder still tomorrow. The 3-0 pitch, and he takes a strike. They say that the expected game-time temperature tomorrow, with some rain mixed in, will be 37, 38 degrees.
Long John time.
Saw you down in the clubhouse asking the clubhouse boy if he had an extra pair.
Well, I went to the Cleveland clubhouse, and I'm going to buy a pair. You got that right.
There he goes on 3-1. It's a called strike, and the throw is not in time. Skips into center. Lofton back on his feet and on to third. Stolen base and E2 in the scorebook. Man at third, nobody out.
There's a fastball strike on the outside corner. A good pitch for Wilson to throw on in the dirt. Joey Cora trying to short hop, but it got by him, and Lofton winds up at third. Well, I'll tell you, what a weapon speed is at the top of the order.
Now the 3-2 to Vizquel misses, and he trots down to first as Baerga steps in.
There's that short hop throw that went off the glove of Joey Cora and wound up in center field. You know, every once in a while, Bob, as a catcher, I have to say this. You know, there are times when you have to make that perfect throw to second because you know you've got a guy like Lofton who has that great speed. And you make the throw, trying to throw it on the bag. Sometimes you come up short as Wilson did, but you're always hopeful that the shortstop or the second baseman is going to get his body in front of the ball instead of trying to backhand or short hop it as Cora did.
Infield looks for the double play. Bennis, who could use a strikeout here, led the National League in strikeouts in 1994. And it's in there to Baerga. With Bell out, Murray is on deck. Lofton at third. Vizquel at first. And Baerga with a slow ground ball to second. Charging it is Cora. His play is to first. Lofton crosses, and Vizquel moves up into scoring position. Well, this is the first time in this series that the Cleveland Indians have had to play from behind. The first time all year. They lose game one, and they have to get a win at the Kingdome to get even. Now they're down 2-1, and they need to get even here at home. All year long, they never faced anything like this kind of pressure. The season wasn't really a pennant race for them. It was more like a coronation. A ball outside to Murray. They won the division by 30 games. Look at the other teams in the playoffs. They were 14 games better than Boston, 21 games better than the wild card Yankees, 22 games better in terms of season records than these Mariners. But they've got their hands full in the LCS. In there 1-1.
Well, in talking with Lou Piniella last night, Bob, that's what he said about the Seattle Mariners. Wanting to win one game here to get back to Seattle. Tonight, it's Hargrove talking about the same thing. I mean, with the win last night, Seattle with a chance to sweep here and go home happy and end it all. As you said, the Indians need a win to get back to Seattle there or win it there.
2 balls and a strike. Albert Bell missed only one game all year. One of the most durable players in the American League.
Well, there was some question as to whether he might play tonight right up till game time. Maybe not in the field, but as a DH, but evidently he couldn't go.
Murray lines the 2-1 pitch to very deep right center. This one is on its way and gone. Well, I'd say he's filled the cleanup spot rather nicely.